A quiet dinner, a simple video, and yet one unexpected detail has thrown the entire BTS fandom into absolute chaos. What looked like an ordinary night out for Jungkook has suddenly become one of the internet's biggest mysteries. Fans quickly noticed that he wasn't eating alone, and within minutes, countless armies began asking the same shocking question. Was the person across from him actually Kim Taehyung? The footage doesn't clearly reveal the other person's identity, but that hasn't stopped fans from analyzing every frame, every angle, and every tiny clue. Some believe they've already found the answer, while others insist it's all just speculation. So, what exactly did ARMY notice in this viral video that has everyone talking? And could this dinner really be what fans think it is? Or is there another explanation hiding in plain sight? Stay until the end because we're breaking down every clue that started this massive online debate. Have you ever watched a video that seemed completely ordinary at first, only to realize that one tiny detail had turned it into one of the biggest mysteries in the BTS fandom? That is exactly what happened after a short clip of Jungkook quietly enjoying dinner began spreading across social media. There were no dramatic moments, no official announcement, and nothing that appeared unusual at first glance. But within hours, thousands of armies were replaying the footage over and over again, convinced that they had noticed something everyone else had missed. The reason was surprisingly simple. Jungkook did not appear to be eating alone. Across the table sat another person whose face was never clearly shown. That single missing piece immediately sparked countless discussions across fan communities. Before long, one name started appearing more than any other: Kim Taehyung. Some fans believe the body shape, hairstyle, clothing, and overall atmosphere of the dinner strongly resemble Kim Taehyung. Others argue that there simply is not enough evidence to identify the person in the video, reminding everyone that the footage is too unclear to reach any definite conclusion. But the mystery did not stop there. As the clip continued circulating online, fans began slowing it down frame by frame, zooming into reflections, analyzing camera angles, and comparing every visible detail with previous public appearances. What seemed like an ordinary dinner suddenly transformed into one of the internet's most talked about fan investigations. Could this really have been a private reunion between Jungkook and Kim Taehyung? Or are fans simply connecting dots that were never meant to be connected? The debate has only grown bigger with every passing hour. While some armies are convinced they have already solved the mystery, others continue urging everyone to avoid jumping to conclusions until there is clear confirmation. So, what exactly did fans discover inside the video that made so many people believe Kim Taehyung was the person sitting across from Jungkook? Some of the clues being shared online are surprisingly convincing, while others raise even more questions than answers. In this video, we'll take a closer look at the footage, examine the details that have captured everyone's attention, explore why this dinner has become such a massive topic among armies, and separate what is actually visible from what remains pure fan speculation. Because by the time you see the final clue, you may understand why this seemingly ordinary dinner has become one of the biggest BTS discussions on social media. Even though the biggest question still remains unanswered, it only took a few seconds of video to send the entire BTS fandom into detective mode. At first glance, the clip looked completely ordinary. Jungkook was simply sitting inside a quiet restaurant, enjoying what appeared to be a peaceful dinner after a long day. There were no official statements, no dramatic interactions, and nothing that immediately suggested the video would become one of the most discussed topics among ARMY. But then fans noticed something that changed everything. Jungkook wasn't alone. Sitting across from him was another person whose face remained almost entirely hidden throughout the video. The camera angle never offered a clear look, and that single missing detail quickly became the center of an enormous online discussion. Within minutes, screenshots of the clip began spreading across social media, with thousands of fans attempting to answer one simple question: who was sitting across from Jungkook? While many viewers believed it could have been anyone, others became convinced that the mysterious person might actually be Kim Taehyung. That theory alone was enough to ignite countless discussions across fan communities, with every frame of the video suddenly becoming evidence in an ongoing investigation. The more people watched, the more questions began to appear. Some fans pointed toward the person's hairstyle, Others focused on the clothing, posture, and overall silhouette. A few even analyzed the way the two appeared to interact during the meal, suggesting that the atmosphere looked incredibly comfortable, as if they had known each other for years. Of course, none of these observations confirmed the person's identity. In fact, the individual in the video cannot be clearly identified based on the available footage. Even so, that uncertainty has only made the mystery more fascinating. Instead of ending the discussion, the lack of a clear answer has encouraged fans to examine every possible clue from every possible angle. As hours passed, the internet became flooded with slowed-down versions of the video, zoomed-in screenshots, comparison photos, and countless theories attempting to explain what really happened inside that restaurant. Some believed the evidence was stronger than ever. Others insisted that people were simply seeing what they wanted to see. That disagreement quickly divided opinions across the fandom. One side argued that several visual details seemed too familiar to ignore, while the other reminded everyone that making assumptions from a blurry video could easily lead to misinformation. Yet, despite the different opinions, nearly everyone agreed on one thing: the video had become impossible to ignore. What makes this situation even more intriguing is how little actually happens in the footage. There are no dramatic conversations, no obvious gestures, and no clear reveal. Instead, it is the mystery itself that has captured everyone's attention. Sometimes the biggest stories begin not with what people can clearly see, but with what they cannot. And perhaps that is exactly why this clip continues gaining attention. Every replay seems to reveal another tiny detail. Every screenshot leads to another theory. Every discussion creates even more unanswered questions. Was the person across from Jungkook really Kim Taehyung? Or has a simple private dinner unintentionally become one of the biggest fan mysteries of the year? Before reaching any conclusions, it is important to remember that there has been no official confirmation identifying the other person in the video. Everything circulating online at this point is based on fan observations and speculation rather than verified information. Still, that hasn't stopped millions of viewers from looking closer. Because as more people continue analyzing the footage, one particular detail keeps appearing in discussions over and over again. Some fans believe it may be the strongest clue yet, while others argue it changes absolutely nothing. So what did they discover that has everyone talking? The final moments of this investigation may completely change the way you look at the entire video. Meanwhile, the discussions surrounding the video continued to grow at an incredible pace. What started as a simple recording of Jungkook having dinner had now evolved into a worldwide conversation among ARMYs, with fans from different countries offering completely different interpretations of the same footage. Some viewers were convinced the answer was obvious. Others believed the mystery was impossible to solve. As more people joined the discussion, new screenshots began circulating online. Fans adjusted the brightness, sharpened the image, compared different versions of the clip, and even attempted to recreate the seating arrangement inside the restaurant. Every new post claimed to have found another hidden clue, but instead of bringing everyone closer to an answer, each discovery only raised even more questions. One particular detail quickly became the center of attention. Several fans claimed that the person sitting across from Jungkook appeared remarkably relaxed throughout the dinner. They argued that the atmosphere between the two looked natural and comfortable, leading some to speculate that they shared a close friendship. For many fans, that observation immediately brought Kim Taehyung into the conversation. Others strongly disagreed. They pointed out that comfort alone proves absolutely nothing. Anyone who knows Jungkook personally could create a similar atmosphere, making it impossible to identify the individual based solely on body language. Without a clear view of the person's face, every conclusion remained nothing more than speculation. But then another question emerged. If the mysterious diner was not Kim Taehyung, why had so many people reached the same conclusion almost immediately? Was everyone simply influenced by the first viral theory that appeared online? Or did the video genuinely contain subtle details that caused thousands of fans to think in exactly the same direction? Psychologists often describe this phenomenon as pattern recognition. Once a popular theory begins spreading, people naturally start searching for evidence that supports it while overlooking details that may suggest otherwise. That possibility has become part of the debate itself, with some fans wondering whether the internet has unintentionally created a mystery larger than reality. Even so, curiosity refuses to disappear. The restaurant shown in the clip has become almost as famous as the video itself. Fans have carefully examined the interior, the seating arrangement, the reflections on the windows, and even the objects placed on the table, hoping that one overlooked detail might finally reveal the identity of the person sitting across from Jungkook. Yet, despite thousands of hours of analysis, one crucial piece of evidence is still missing: a clear face. Without that single element, every theory remains exactly that, a theory. That has not stopped the conversation from growing stronger every day. New edits continue appearing online, each claiming to offer a better angle or a sharper image. Some videos confidently declare the mystery solved, while others argue that the available footage actually proves nothing at all. Perhaps the most fascinating part of this entire story is that a quiet dinner, with no words spoken to the camera and no official explanation, has managed to capture the attention of millions of people around the world. Sometimes, the loudest headlines are created by the quietest moments. And as more viewers continue watching the clip, one final observation has begun attracting even greater attention than the identity of the mysterious person. It is a subtle detail that many people completely overlooked during their first viewing, yet those who noticed it believe it could completely change the direction of the entire discussion. Could that overlooked moment finally explain why so many ARMYs believe Kim Taehyung was there? Or will it prove that everyone has been chasing the wrong clue from the very beginning? The final piece of the puzzle may be closer than anyone expected. Still, despite all the theories and endless investigations, one fact remains unchanged. There has been no official confirmation identifying the person sitting across from Jungkook. Everything currently circulating online is based on fan observations and interpretations rather than verified information. Whether the mystery will eventually be solved remains uncertain. But one thing is clear: a simple dinner video has somehow transformed into one of the biggest discussions within the BTS fandom, proving once again that even the smallest moments can create the loudest conversations across social media.